All right. So as you can see, it's not exactly perfect parkour weather. In the last video, I talked about taking discrete or isolated skills and connecting them. In part 6 today, I want to talk a little bit more about the human connections that I've made through my parkour practice. When I first started doing parkour, I explicitly told myself, you're going to show up, you're going to do your class, you're going to leave. None of that getting involved in people's drama or baggage or messy shadow sides.
Not like last time.
I mentioned in a previous video that I had been part of a martial arts community in my youth, and I ended up quitting that for reasons that had absolutely nothing to do with my training and it had everything to do with social complexities. It was really painful for me at the time, and now even still, if I think about it, to give up something I loved because of a few individuals in my community. My takeaway, and admittedly it was confirmation bias, was to just avoid developing close relationships with people. That attitude was defensive, naive, and not true to what I needed or wanted in my life. I really longed to be part of a community that was fully accepting and respecting of me, and though I hadn't found that before, it didn't mean that I didn't have the potential for it within parkour. Over the now 7 years, parkour has helped me develop a lot of important social skills, negotiating space, collaborating with people on solving movement problems, using other people as a resource for their experience, both on what kind of things to do in which kind of environments, and as well as the technical details of how to perform a skill. There's also the opportunities for bonding through shared experience. Having a supportive community also really helped me recalibrate my own ideas about what I'm capable of. So a lot of times I wouldn't even consider a challenge. It's very valuable for me if someone else believes in me, even when I don't believe in myself. And then I work up to it and I'm able to do it, then I'm immensely grateful for that outside view of what I might be capable of. Over time, I also learned what kind of circumstances I needed for me to perform my best. And that includes feeling like I'm accepted and respected and valued by the people around me. So in addition to me learning how to take more physical risks, I've also learned how to take more social risks. It's getting kind of cold out here. Let's head inside to that amazing facility that is Origins Parkour. See you there. Remember my friend Brenda? This is a session that she and I did at Origins Parkour Open Gym. It was 2 days before my scheduled surgery. We decided to do some playing around together, working on some partner style games. So one of the things we wanted to do here was create a synchronized routine with the two of us in this space. The bar cage created a pretty good setup for us to be able to do things in parallel, though some of the limitations are the restricted area and also the height of the bars. I found a little bit challenging for getting over. It was kind of daunting for me to think about vaulting over those rails. I just wasn't getting the power of the takeoffs that I normally would if my knee weren't injured. So we solved that problem by pulling out some kickers that gave me just enough boost to confidently get over the rails. So in addition to having to figure out movement problems in that space, we also made some adjustments for my own limitations. Thankfully, Brenda's very accommodating that way. We find a way to match each other's abilities and interests in how to use the space. So you're going to see us working through a bunch of problems where we're trying to figure out what would look good. We had to figure out also how to approach into the cage as well as exit out of it. And you're going to see us experiment with a whole bunch of different things. Sometimes Brenda would suggest something, sometimes I would, and we wouldn't always know how to connect into that. So there's a lot of collaboration that you're going to see going on here. I've developed a lot of really great relationships through my parkour practice. But Brenda is a little bit special. She's the perfect example to use in this video because we have just enough overlap in our skill sets that we're good training companions, but enough differences that I think we can each provide each other with some inspiration for ways that we'd like to get better. And just enough of an element of competition to help us both get there. She is really somebody who has helped me feel comfortable just being myself around her, which traditionally has been kind of hard for me. I used to take pride in being a bit of a loner, being staunchly independent, being determined and focused, and kind of always just doing my own thing. But I think a lot of that just left me feeling lonely, and it was more about my fear of being rejected by people. Because I was used to feeling like a bit of an outsider, whether that's self-imposed or not, I didn't really expect to feel like I fit in this environment, especially being a woman who's older, a wife and mother. I was surprised at how welcoming and encouraging people were when I started, but that was really, really significant in helping me continue. Building that trust with people has helped me open myself up a little bit more, as well as extend myself socially in ways that I wasn't comfortable doing before or in other environments. And I never would have started this channel or prepared this series without the encouragement of some very key people. Sometimes I put high and possibly unreasonable expectations on myself, and it's really hard on me if I'm not meeting those, or if I feel like I'm not meeting the expectations of others. I've been known to cry on occasion in classes out of embarrassment and disappointment, frustration for not being able to do something that I think I should be able to do easily. So sometimes I'll just make adjustments for what I needed in that moment, or listen to the instructions and observe, and then find a different opportunity to practice the same thing on my own. That being said, a lot of my progress has come because of the people I'm surrounded by. I've mentioned numerous times in this series how parkour has helped me recalibrate what I think I'm capable of, and a lot of that is directly related to the influence of the people around me. So I've had lots of situations where, someone might recommend a particular challenge that I didn't notice myself, or see me working on a challenge that I'm struggling with, maybe possibly even not even trying something that's being offered up in a class situation. Having anybody tell me, I really think you could do this, has resulted in a lot of unexpected successes for me, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Overall, I think I have a really good mix of group training, solo training, and partner training like you're seeing me do here with Brenda. So let's get back to my session here and see where she and I are at with this synchronized routine that we're trying to develop together. We had to make accommodations for, if we have a preference for vaulting over one side, or here turning to a specific direction out of these cat backs. So figuring out where our bodies needed to be in the space in relation to each other, and the moves that we're trying to accomplish in the sequence we've built them up into. So here you're going to see our finished product. Meanwhile, I have a question for you, Brenda. Well, multiple questions. This game is called Leading the Witness. Okay. Have you ever seen me do a parkour move just because you told me to do it?
Yes.
Have you ever seen me do a parkour move just because I saw you do it first?
Yes.
Have you ever done a parkour move just because I told you could do it?
Yes.
Have you ever done a parkour move just because you saw me do it first?
Absolutely. I've even asked you to please do it first so that I can do it.
So better together, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
There you go. Conclusive proof. We're gonna play follow the leader, but because I'm slower, she's gonna start. We gotta work out our timing. sometimes I just need to take a step away from people, focus in on my own training and practice things on my own. It does remove any kind of extra social complexities if I'm in my head about those kinds of things and they're affecting my practice. But what I wanted to demonstrate in this video is the richness of the social part of parkour. In concluding this series, my wish for each and every one of you is that you find yourself in a community where you have the trust, respect, and encouragement of the people around you. Sometimes I have to hide my emotions, otherwise my cats will eat them. I don't even know which way is up. What are you? Oh, yeah. Who am I kidding? I can't squat. Can I? Oh, no.
I didn't get that.
I
Could
wasn't.
you try again?